Hello, viewers. This is Sex in the Temple. You welcome back to part 2 of teaching sexuality to children. With me is Madam Gifty Aseidu, who is the Director for Girls Education, the Ghana Education Service. Ma'am, you're welcome.
Thank you, Monique.
I love the outfit.
Thank you.
All right. The last time we met, we were able to delve deep into teaching sexuality to our children. And I must say, I've learned so much, and I hope the viewers will learn too. So today, what we want to do is to ask ourselves the question, who is involved in providing sexuality education? Example, just the parent, or we have more people involved in doing so?
It is everybody's business.
Okay.
Bringing up a child is the responsibility of the home, the church, the school, the community, and the nation as a whole.
All right.
Everybody has a role to play. Our parents give information, they come to school and they learn. And they can link what they've been told at home to what they are being told at school. So home is more of the informal education. Then they get to the school space. Now they are reading from books because we have it in our curriculum.
Okay.
As part of their lessons.
Right.
So that one, oh, so mommy said it. She wasn't wrong. And in fact, that gives them the hope, or it comes to lay more emphasis that, oh yeah, what mommy said, it's something that is not acceptable, especially when you are talking about wrong sexual behaviors or negative sexual behaviors. And then want to talk about abuse. Oh, mommy is just being some way. Mommy doesn't want me to play or go out there. You know, sometimes parents are very protective. And if they don't know who is in the next house or when adults are not around, they don't want to go. But for the children, they cannot see what you can see. They don't understand. And they feel you are just being difficult. But when they go to school and hear some of this, then they begin to think through, oh yes, now I understand why mommy is behaving this way. So it even makes it very easy for the mother when you are pushing some of these things because they've heard from school. And the school, it is not only as part of the curriculum. You know, in Ghana, we have religious and moral studies. And it is a subject they take. Although we've been building the capacity of teachers to teach this in social studies, teach it in RME, it comes up in science at the basic level. That's the pre-tertiary level. And when you are teaching, you make it so practical that the person will be able to, you know, understand, live what you are saying. That is what we want them to experience. They hear it, they live it. But when it becomes too academic, it is like, oh, RME says we should do this. We should not do this. Moral behavior, it is learning to write exams. Because of that, we have introduced the club sessions in school. GES, we have clubs, different clubs, adolescent clubs, girls clubs, and health clubs. We have all forms of clubs in the school, but normally anything to do with adolescents. Then these are the life skills issues that we discuss at the club meeting. So we encourage, we call them school-based facilitators handling the club.
So these facilitators are trained?
Yes. We give in-service training from time to time with the support of donors, development partners, NGOs. Yeah. So from time to time, they get the training. And you have to look out for somebody who can relate well with the children, come to their level. When it is club session, it is not a learning session where teacher is holding kids, chasing them around. No, very democratic, very conducive environment. We want the space where children will feel free to talk to the teacher, because at the school, the teacher becomes the parent. So the club session is also there for us to discuss this as life skills issues. So it's not only in the curriculum, in the class for examination purposes, but the club as well, for them to get some of these things. Then when we go to church, Sabbath school, you know, it comes up. Sometimes we have to touch on it, even when when the story of Dinah is
Yes.
there,
Yeah, the
and
brother.
Amon then also abusing the sister. So you
Yes.
take advantage of every situation, and then you give information. You teach the children about sexual issues, or you give sex education. And then the media, what are they showing? So sometimes, there are programs like this also that society is also putting in place for children to learn. As we talk, children watch, and then they understand, they pick what they have heard, compare it to what they heard from school, compare it to their home. And then it is telling them that this is important. The more you add, the more it's coming from different sources. It tells them that's very important. And then we have CSOs, also NGOs, CSOs going into community, doing even out of school programs.
So they have like community-based programs.
They have community-based.
The focus is just to teach young people
life skills.
There
are issues that we talk. We mentioned that the information, health issues, adolescent reproductive health issues, and we have HIV/AIDS coming in, and so all the things that we are doing around HIV/AIDS is part of it. Menstrual hygiene, there are special days set aside.
Yeah, you did say something
to commemorate
about that.
Some days.
Okay.
So you leverage on that and then talk about it.
So do they teach them basically when you have your menses about hygiene, or what does it entail? We talk about the community-based programs on menstrual hygiene and
it is not only community-based. What we do in the schools at club levels, we replicate it in communities. Remember, we have in school and we have out of school children. So sometimes we do this to complement in school. I told you that community can also educate. So even we have a way of teaching them to know when they are safe. And when they are not safe. We normally don't put it as safe to go and engage in sexual activity, but when to expect your menstruation. So that they prepare towards it. It comes with even advising the type of food you should be eating, and when you have issues with premenstrual syndrome, what you should do, the exercises to minimize the way you take painkillers, all these things coming. So you can see that the education itself, because you have some aspect of it that you need experts, one person cannot do it. The teacher is there. We collaborate with Ghana Health Service, the gender. I'm talking that is education. One person cannot bring up a child.
So we need teamwork.
So we have in collaborators and then out. This calls for funding, of course. When you have to do club things, you have to buy some few materials, and then the IE material, information and education, and IEC materials, communication materials to show posters of HIV and all those, and show visuals. So this is where we have development partners, NGOs supporting as external collaborators or partnership with them. UNICEF, UNESCO, CAMFED, JICA, COICA, they are all doing FCDO, USAID, they are all doing things to support. And then inside, I work for girls' education. We have the special education, so we talk about inclusivity. So whatever you do, you take into consideration children with special needs.
Special needs as well.
How do you
most
help
times
them?
They are left out.
Yes. How do you help them?
Teach them also
you have to teach them
education.
because the blind child in that school space, anybody at all can take advantage of their blindness and abuse them. Autistic children, how do you help them to know that this is something that you should be mindful of, especially where abusers come to play, or how to even manage themselves? So we have people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, IDDs. How do you help them? And we have them in the mainstream schools. So when you are doing this, inclusivity also comes to play. So we work with a unit within GS we call special education unit, and we have the guidance and counseling unit. They also talk about the emotional and psychological aspect of it. Earlier, when we had this conversation, I mentioned bullying. many children drop out of school because of bullying, body shaming. And when it is like that, I remember a girl got pregnant. I asked, what happened? And said, Madam, he's the only person who ever told me I'm beautiful. When I go home, I'm insulted that your legs are like this, your buttocks is flat. I come to school, my friends are teasing me. So this is the only guy who told me. So when he requested for sex, I didn't say no.
Because I don't want to feel...
I don't want to lose the only person. So we should know that belongingness is very key in the development of the adolescent. I want to belong. I want to be loved. How, as parents, are we exhibiting this?
Yes. It also calls for building a relationship. So earlier on you said that we can only communicate effectively to our children when we build a relationship with them. Because if we don't, how then can we have this conversation? You know, we drag them and we shout and scream at them. They will not even bother to come to us. You mentioned something about the church, and I want us to go there. Since we believe in God and we worship and we are Christians, I don't know for you, from my experience growing up, there's not a lot going on that side from the church. I don't know for you.
Yeah.
I mean, they expect us to be right. They expect us to live straight. And they teach us and they quote the Bible and they tell us this is a sin, this is what is approved of. So now for people like me, I look at God as a police officer who has a cane and waiting for me to break the law. That's when I was growing up, because all they ever did was to tell me, when you do this, the angels will run away, God will turn his face. But they don't teach us. And yet they expect us to live, upright and abide by the principles.
It's interesting. Before I touch that, when you engage students at the school level, some schools are faith-based schools, like Adventists, we have our schools. Presbyterians have their schools, Catholic have their schools. And normally we have the pastors as the local managers of the school. So even in the school setup, the children have access to the pastors to help nurture them to be responsible adults. Bringing up children, you have three main objectives for them: preparing them for the world of work, for adult life, and for academic work. That is what you want the children to do. And if you want them to be useful and contribute to society, the church has a big role, because our part of the world, we are very religious. It is not only the church. You see, when you talk about only religious, the church,
isolating
the Muslims are there. They also believe in taking care of yourself. It's against the Quran. The traditional religion, you see that whatever they do, they hammer. Even for the chief priest to be given a wife, he should be a virgin. So it tells you that even as human beings, when we are making our own thing, we believe in purity. What about God? It is so important to us, and it is not for God. I say God has nothing to lose, even if he decides he's disposing us off. But he loves us so much that whatever he's saying we should do and we should not do, it's for our good. The Bible is that thou shalt not do this, and it is there, enshrined in it. Do not commit adultery. Don't fornicate. The story of the woman caught in adultery tells us that, oh yeah, God will forgive you. But then you use real life situation to let the child understand that those who go this way, look at what happened to Dinah. When Dinah was warned, do not mingle with these people, she did not pay heed to it, went and she was, trying to relate to the Canaanites. What happened to her? What did the brothers also do to the people? So it has rippling effects. Do not fornicate. Do not do this. So this is where the church should make us, or young people, understand that it is practiced within the confines of marriage. It is not you being a child or you being an adult. Even if you are an adult and you are not married, you are not expected to do that, because it has consequences that will affect you physically, emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually as well. God will forgive you when you hide to sin. Man will not see it. But the consequences of your action is there. You can contract HIV/AIDS. That one, it's your business.
Yeah.
So God has forgiven you, but the consequences of the sin, contracting any form of STI is there. And you live with your conscience. It harms you as an individual. People grow, they understand, and they feel so dirty. Why should I do this? Why? I always give girls this example. You are married to a minister. You are married to a big man in society, and you were playing around with somebody, at that level. You don't know who can go up and who will not go up. So you had the opportunity to go up and had a minister or whoever to marry, a president to marry. The person did not get help, so the person stayed there. One day, the person is employed as a housekeeper, a driver, or whatever that you feel is below your status. The person opens the door, and here you are. And the person is so excited
to see you.
I said, to see you. And they
have the fling with them.
They use it. Oh, this one I chop up.
Yeah, you fling with them.
Feels so
good. One night stand.
How would you feel? So it is for your own good. God understands. He knows what we do not know. He can see what we cannot see.
Exactly.
And even getting involved as a teenager, pregnancy can result in truncating your education. So even as we teach them life goals, to set short-term goals, medium-term goals, long-term goals, we pull in this to let them know that these are things that can affect your development or you achieving your goal. And everybody is important. You have a role to play to promote God's business.
Exactly. So what I see you say is that not only do you teach them, but you also share your values and expectation with them, and telling them the consequences that this can disrupt if care is not taken. And so make an informed choice or decision and be guided by these principles. People say that when we teach our young people about sex or sexuality education, we expose them or give them leeway to engage in sex early. Is that true?
I disagree to some extent, because children have curious minds. They always want to explore. When you are told, we have this story in our local languages where somebody was traveling and left a room. Don't enter until I come. The human being is curious. The curiosity that killed the cat. You want to know what is there. You will never have peace until you have seen it. So when you give that information, or that you are not opening up. Somebody said, my parents told me, if you don't know and you sleep with a boy, you get pregnant. And she got pregnant. I said, only if I sleep with that person. So this one, we didn't sleep.
We were standing. Exactly. You said sleep. It's not even in a bed.
Exactly.
We were standing up. Case closed.
So you give the education, you give the information. Either than that, the child will be picking from other sources. And there are people making it look like there is nothing wrong. We've also had experience. Yes, children grow up in communities where this is nothing. So they don't have any guilt when they are practicing. Somebody shared her story. The first person I saw engaging in sexual activity is my auntie. That is somebody's story. So she saw the auntie, and this is a married auntie having sexual relationship with a man who is not the husband. So, and later, she became so curious. Why would she do that? And, it was bothering her. And then she said she saw the aunt with a magazine. And when she was coming, the aunt hid the magazine somewhere. Curiosity that killed the cat. So she started searching for whatever was hidden from her, and she got access to pornography. So it became part of it. So we were trying to help her to break out of the habit of watching porn. So it wasn't enough. When she got to know that we had this on the internet, she saved to buy an Android phone.
So she
was ready to go hungry. To buy phone. just to satisfy her curiosity. I have seen the pictures. I want to see the videos. You know, she's been catching a glimpse of it briefly from what is shown on the telly. And
She wants a
just
proper one.
like a drag.
Yeah.
You know, the quest
Tolerance.
for more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tolerance.
And so
yeah.
through club activities, with collaboration with NGOs came around, we're running club activities in school. Auntie, I'm fed up. I want to stop because it leads to other things.
Yeah.
When I watch, it is this. When I watch, it moved here. Then another person was saying that, oh, okay, I also have a similar problem. The house help. This is a widower left with 4 children who didn't know what to do with their kids. I announced at church, I need somebody to help me with my teenage girls.
Did you just say announced in
Announced
church?
at church. So got a church member.
Okay, here we go.
You know, the person was very, careful not to bring a stranger or somebody with different values to the home. I want somebody that I share the same belief with, that I can vouch that, oh, this person is, of a certain standard to help me care for my others. Not as a wife, but as a caregiver. So you come, you work in the evening. When I come from work, you leave. They were doing that. When the children were holidays, the maid started showing porn to the older girl.
The church member.
Yes, the boyfriend comes there and they do it and allow the girl to watch
once they are
having intimacy, and then she's been giving her the CDs to watch. Fortunately for her, I told you that when parents do not do their work well, there are peers. They talk about it in school, and they are quick to pick those
signs,
who are also within that same category. Somebody also said, hey, is that so you have the CDs? I have DVD, I'll bring it. No, there is a small DVD player.
Yeah,
the person brought it in school. So during break, they hide at a corner somewhere and watch the porno CDs. Unfortunately for them, they share boundary with a senior high school, boys' school. Some boys caught them watching this and decided to take advantage.
So you're saying these are primary kids?
These are JHS kids.
JHS, okay, the basic, okay.
So they are, let me say, average of 13.
13, okay.
So the boys also said, oh, we've caught you. We are going to report you to your teachers. Said, no, we are begging. So bullying comes in. And then blackmailing will come in. Then let me have sex with you. Either than that. So it became a permanent relationship with this group of girls with their boys. Watch what is there. They practice in the bush.
In the school, the bush.
In the bush somewhere. About a lot of uncompleted buildings around. They do their own thing. From a Christian home.
Bringing a Christian brother,
a Christian sister to come and help. So the church cannot stay out of this business.
So church needs to
our business
to take a leading role and not be quiet.
No, during account pathfinder activities, youth activities, these are emerging issues that we should start.
We should not be quiet. We should not be quiet.
During the Sabbath school lessons, it will come up, and we should find a way of giving age-appropriate information.
So this, what you said, is so important, because sometimes we have this, I don't know, I won't say it's a delusion, but I think we just believe that we're safe in church and everybody who is there is safe. But I think we need to open our eyes to see beyond what we think is safety. We need to do due diligence in checking people. So how do I talk to my teenage son? A mother may ask, how do I talk to my teenage daughter about sex?
You should have started long ago.
Now we're doing the age appropriate, and now they've come to preteens. So from age appropriate, as we follow the structure you put in place, and now we show them body parts, we tell them the boundaries, we affirm them, we encourage them, and we share our values and our dreams with them. So now it's an age that they've come, say a preteen or early teen. I want to talk to them because now I know they can see and understand about sex. As a father, I live with my girls, or as a mother, I don't have a husband, but I live with my boys. How do I talk to them about sex?
You take advantage of every situation, what you see around, what you watch, what you hear on radio, books that you read. Okay, I came across this book. About sex or what you should know about it, but I think I want us all to read and have a discussion on
So you
it.
don't just buy the book. With the scenarios where people were sharing with me that their fathers will buy the books and just quietly put it on the desk or
No,
in their bed and hoping that they will come and read it, and they never ask them, but they look at them in certain way, wanting them to comment that, oh, I saw this book, who put in there. So you don't just buy the book.
no. Well, to me,
Okay.
and this I recommend for other parents, it
Okay.
worked for me.
Okay.
Every book I buy for the child, I'm interested. First,
Yeah.
you have to know content of what you are buying. So I'll quickly glance through, make time to read, skip through if I'm able to get everything fine. So after reading, we discuss it.
Okay.
Then you pick issues that will come up. You know,
Okay.
there are characters.
Yes.
The way people are, people, the role people play.
Okay.
You pick it and discuss it.
Hmm.
You can also be driving together, even if you're in a public transport. You may see people wearing skimpy dresses and all those things.
Use
So
as an opportunity.
what is this person communicating? That is what I always start with. What is this person communicating by wearing this? Why is it that we don't have men almost half naked?
Why is
Why is
it
it that
women?
women? What do they want to achieve?
Yeah.
I said, oh, mama, but that is in focus. I said, no, the person is telling you that I am edible. To use, that
Yeah, I understand.
phrase.
Yeah.
That is it. You only want to attract the person sexually.
That's why you can go that extent.
And we are to win souls. So is this person winning a soul for Christ, or you are putting somebody into temptation to end the person visa to hell? Then they will laugh.
You know, when you said that, I just, sorry for interrupting. When you said that, what a thought came to my mind when Daniel purposed in his heart that I will not eat this food and defile my body. So we should be intentional and purpose in our heart. I don't want to be a source of sin or distraction to anybody to be sexually sinning. I do my best in all I do, including my outfit, to try and reduce or minimize. Unknowingly maybe, but knowingly I will not do that. I think it also should be part of it. As we're wrapping up, our time is running out so fast. Media, the TVs that you watch as parents, do we have to watch some of the things that they watch with them? Because sometimes we just let them be and watch. We give them phones as young. They have data. They have access to all of these things. Do we need to put structures on these things like our laptop, our tablets, our media, the music they listen to that has some kind of sexual explicit images? Do we have to put structures as a home so that it will reduce or minimize the risk of engaging some?
Yes, we have to do. You see, when you've had series of conversations on this topic,
Okay.
and letting them to make their own judgments, and letting them understand that there is a way you can also help.
Okay.
If you expose yourself, somebody watches you, the person may not attack you, but you have set up something in the person's mind.
Yeah.
And a child like you could be raped as a result. Another person could be sexually abused. Yeah. In that same manner, as they watch, why do you watch? University of Education, Winneba has an anthem. A nobler thoughts, to nobler words, to nobler deeds, and to nobler heights. So when you watch,
Yes.
that is what you keep in your mind.
And that's why you meditate and
It comes out. So when
act on
people
it.
start talking to you about this, hey, you're back, idiot. Hey, now you are right. It should give you a signal that run away from that person.
They might take advantage of you.
Then the next will be to act, and it will get you to a level that probably you don't want to see yourself. So the teenagers, every opportunity. I remember I raised this issue that people are saying that one way to try to deal with menstrual cramps is to masturbate. What is your view about it? And Mama, you like such things to this topic. Why away from this stuff? I said, no, you have also children. How do you deal with it? Because I can see some of you experiencing it. So what do you do?
Yeah.
And it came up and it became a topic that one person said, that is foolishness. Why should you be doing this? You know, you don't know. I assume they've reached the level where they can masturbate.
Yes.
So you throw it, leave it to them. Those who condemn will condemn. Those who will also, maybe somebody could be guilty. Then it is communicating to the person.
Thank you so much for your time and opportunity to have this conversation. I must say I've learned so much, and I believe that our viewers have learned so much. So viewers, this is where we end our conversation on sexuality and spirituality. Remember, it is fundamental that as caregivers and parents, we take this seriously. Don't give a crash course. Maybe you are shy, maybe you lack the skills, or maybe you yourself don't have the knowledge. There are places and people and resources that you can get to help you. My name is Monique. This is Sex in the Temple. Thank you.